We found the farmhouse listed online. It was one of those listings that seems too good to be true. A sprawling, two-story house on a dozen acres of land, miles from the nearest neighbor, for a price that was honestly a steal. We'd been dreaming of escaping the city, of quiet nights and starry skies, and this place felt like fate. The pictures were a bit dated, but you could see the potential. Strong bones, the realtor had said. A bit of a fixer-upper, but nothing we couldn't handle. The day we moved in was surreal. The air was different out here, clean and crisp, smelling of pine and damp earth. The house itself was even bigger than it looked in the photos. It had this old, dignified presence, sitting atop a gentle hill, watching over the fields. Inside, it was a maze of rooms. Some were small and cozy, others vast and echoing. We spent first day just wandering through, trying to map it all out in our heads. It was perfect. A little dusty, a little creaky, but it was ours. The first few weeks were a honeymoon period. We painted walls, sun-baked floors, and started to feel the rhythm of country life. It was during one of our exploratory missions into the attic that we found them. Tucked away in a dusty old chest was a roll of blueprints for the house. We unrolled them on the dusty floorboards, the paper brittle with age. But as we looked, a strange feeling crept over us. According to these plans, the house was supposed to be smaller, much smaller. It showed a simple, rectangular structure, a living room, a kitchen, 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom. That was it. But our house had a den, a study, a sunroom, and at least 3 bedrooms we hadn't even furnished yet. We laughed it off at first. Maybe it was an extension. My partner, Alex, suggested. Someone added on over the years and just never updated the plans. It made sense, eh? It was the only thing that did. We rolled up the blueprints and put them back, dismissing the discrepancy as a quirk of an old house. We were so happy, so wrapped up in our new life, that we chose to ignore that first, quiet whisper of wrongness. The first door appeared on a Tuesday. I was heading downstairs for my morning coffee, misma rotina as always, but at the end of the upstairs hallway, where a blank wall had definitely been the night before, there was a door. It was a simple, plain wooden door, matching the others in the house perfectly. I stopped, staring at it, my mind struggling to catch up. I called for Alex. He came out of our bedroom, rubbing his eyes, and saw it too. Was that ... Was that there yesterday? He asked, his voice thick with sleep and confusion. No, I said, my heart starting to thump a little faster. It wasn't. We opened it, of course. We had 2. It led to a small, empty room, smelling salooks of fresh sawdust and paint. It was just a box, nothing more. We spent the rest of the day trying to rationalize it. We must have just missed it. How could we have missed an entire door and room? But we convinced ourselves we had. The house was big. We were still new to it. It was a plausible mistake. But then, the hallway stretched. The main corridor downstairs from the living room to the kitchen had always been about 20 feet long. I knew this because I'd measured it for a runner rug. One morning, I walked down it, and it just felt longer. I got out the tape measure, my hands trembling slightly. It was 25 feet. 5 extra feet of hallway had materialized overnight. The walls were seamless, the floorboards continuous. There was no sign of construction, no dust, no noise. It had just grown. That's when the real fear started to set in. This wasn't us being forgetful. Something was fundamentally wrong with this house. We started taking pictures every night before bed, documenting every wall, every corner, and every morning, we'd find a change. A new closet in the guest room, a window where there wasn't one before, the pantry suddenly twice as deep. The blueprints were right. The house we bought was that small, simple structure, but the one we were living in now was something else entirely. It was growing, organically. The changes became more biological, more unsettling. We started noticing the wood grain on the walls. It wasn't just patterns anymore. It looked like ... capillaries, tiny, intricate lines that seemed to throb with a slow, silent rhythm if you stared at them long enough. One evening, sitting in the den, I placed my hand against the wall. It was warm, not just from the ambient temperature of the house, but a deep, internal warmth. And beneath my palm, I could feel it. A faint, steady pulse, a slow, deep, thrumming vibration, like a massive, sleeping heart. We had to get out. The idyllic dream had curdled into a nightmare. We packed a single bag, ready to flee in the middle of the night. But the house wasn't done with us. We went to the basement to check the circuit breaker one last time, and that's when we heard it. It wasn't just a vibration anymore. It was a sound, a low, resonant thud thump, echoing up from beneath the concrete floor. A heartbeat, the heartbeat of the house. It was coming from a part of the basement that didn't exist on the blueprints, a dark, earthen corner that always seemed colder than the rest. Panic took over. We scrambled up the stairs, our only thought to get out. We raced to the front door, the same heavy oak door we'd walked through of times, but it wasn't there. In its place was a solid, seamless wall. The wood grain swirled and pulsed, a living tapestry of timber. It was like a wound that had healed over. The door, our escape, had been absorbed, digested, and turned into more of the house. We were trapped. We ran to the back door, the one leading out from the kitchen. It was gone too, just more warm, pulsing wood. We checked every window on the ground floor. Each one was a solid, opaque pane of something that looked like glass, but felt like keratin, like a thickened fingernail. It wouldn't break. It wouldn't even scratch. The house had sealed itself shut, locking us inside. The growth accelerated. Rooms changed shape overnight. Hallways would twist into new configurations, leading us in circles. We'd go to sleep in our bedroom and wake up to find the door was now on the opposite wall, or that the room itself had shrunk by several feet. The air grew thick and heavy, smelling of sap and soil and something else, something vaguely metallic and alive. The pulsing in the walls became stronger, a constant, oppressive rhythm that vibrated through our bones. We're still here. I don't know for how long. The house keeps growing, keeps changing. It's a living, breathing organism, and we are caught inside it, like parasites in a hose. Sometimes, in the dead of night, I can hear new sounds. A low, wet, digestive gurgle from the walls. A creaking that sounds like the stretching of sinew. The house is still expanding, still developing, I think. I think it's building something, creating new organs, and we're beginning to suspect what it needs us for. We're not just occupants anymore. We're part of the architecture. We are the raw materials for its next phase of growth. The house is hungry, and it's just beginning to feed.